Aubrey, I guess, is on the show.
Mhm.
She wants to be nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a good balance because all these baddies is f***ing crazy. And then she's over there feeling sorry for Biggie.
That shit was funny.
Yo, that
when
shit was so funny.
They looked at her crazy.
They really did. When she was like,
just being
you don't feel bad that she's crying? They were like, for what? For who?
And then it got quiet for a second, like.
And she's like, okay, never mind. That shit had me weak, bro. I was like, poor Aubrey.
This the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, this the kind of beat to go, rock, top, top.
Welcome back to another episode of the Petty Headquarters, and I'm your host, Tiana Locke, and this is
Jesse Strange.
And of course, we are bringing you another Baddies episode, your favorite thing to talk about, listen to, and watch. So yes, Baddies Caribbean just made their premiere.
Sure did.
We saw the first 2 episodes. We usually do like the first 3 episodes, but we're doing the first 2 today.
First 2 episode recap.
Right. First 2 episode recap. And what is today? Today's Friday.
Today is Friday.
So Sunday, the 3rd episode will be premiering.
Yeah. But this is our first 7 a.m. shoot.
Oh,
so
my
how
God.
you feeling about that?
I don't know. I'm getting into it. I'm
excited. And plus, I'm not gonna lie. It feels really nice to kind of be back into the Baddies world.
Yeah.
I love the tea.
Yeah,
I do. I love it.
We haven't done a Baddies video in so long.
Yeah.
So here we are.
You ready?
So you ready to just get into it?
Hell yeah. So, okay. So Baddies Caribbean, right? Premiere. What are your initial thoughts?
Okay, so far I'm loving the season. I think it's going pretty well.
Okay.
We got a lot of interesting cast members.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're just gonna get into that. I know y'all probably fiending to know what our thoughts are. So we're gonna dive into it. So you ready?
Yeah, we can start with episode 1, right?
Yeah, episode 1. So with it starting off, Natalie always has to introduce the girls. Natalie decides to, have all the girls, I guess the OG baddies on a yacht.
Yep. So that's where we get the introduction.
And Natalie is telling them about all the other girls coming in. And, she also gives the OG baddies their baddie chain.
Oh my God. First of all, can we talk about how messy Natalie is? Zeus is messy because it's just, I am sick and tired of this chain narrative. And of course, I feel like there was intention behind giving
there was
a
chain. Story behind that.
Right. Like they were like, okay, y'all want to steal some chains, bitches? Here's the chain that you can actually steal.
I think it's a good idea, though.
You do?
I do. I think it's so clever. Stir that shit up. Stir that shit up, bitch. Stir the pot.
I'm weak.
No, for real. Because it's like now you got real change to snatch.
Yeah, that's
baddie
true.
chains.
Yeah, that'd be mad funny if bitches be collecting chains and shit.
Oh my God. They really definitely played off the Smiley narrative on that one.
Yeah, shout out to Smiley for
shout out to Smiley.
For her literal
shout out to Mariah for having the chain and right. Smiley for taking it.
All right.
So yes, it starts off with her introducing the other girls. They're on the yacht. And honestly, I'm not gonna get into
who comes back, right? So you got Jela.
Jela from...
The fans were hyped about Jela. They've been begging to see her come back. So, listen, we'll get into Jela. So, you got Jela, Sapphire. So funny because I want to talk about that for a second. All right. First of all, we know that Sukihana, even before the show premiered, that she wasn't coming back.
Right.
So it was so random to see her there on the first episode. But I saw a comment that literally says something like, Sukihana came to drop off her best friend.
But honestly, though, that's what it gave. She's just like, yeah, I'm here to make a show face, and then I have a Rolling Loud concert. I gotta go.
That's it.
Literally.
It was so random. And I don't know. It kind of made me seem like either one, something may have happened where she was originally going to be there and then decided not to, or she was really dropping off her best friend and kind of doing that transition. Because a lot of people were speculating that, you know, that was kind of the reason why she was even on the show to begin with, was to kind of put her best friend on the map and then kind of like be out. Either way, though, their conversation between each other, you could tell that Sukihana was
over it.
The friendship.
Like, is that why she was back? Just for y'all to have your little sit down for Sapphire to get her little scene in camera time?
That's pretty much.
So I just think it's interesting because she's not even on the show, but her one little second talk about it's not even nothing. Like, I really don't give a fuck. That shit is going viral. That shit is going viral. How you not on the show and you still going viral? Like, that shit is crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's sad because at the end of the day, we kind of see what Sapphire's intentions and true colors really was last season, whether it was a mistake or not. Like, sometimes you really can't undo the things that, you know, the damage that you cause to a relationship, you know? Same thing, like, I feel like cheating, you know? Like, yeah, you can probably make up, but that damage is kind of there.
Right.
And unless you go through, like, some serious healing, like, you know, and in that show business, ain't no healing. Like, you know, I feel like Sukihana kind of already saw the colors and was kind of like,
it's done.
You know, done. I see how you are.
And then Sapphire getting upset, walking away crying, talking about, I'm not going to keep apologizing and I already did my part. Girl, shut the fuck up.
You know what? I want to touch on that real quick because I feel like Sapphire and like people in general don't realize that, maybe what she had done behind, like if it was behind closed doors is one type of, you know, way of dealing with it. But you publicly humiliated your best friend, publicly, to millions and millions of people. I feel like Sapphire should have more grace to the whole situation. Don't walk away and cry. It's so annoying because it's like, I'm supposed to feel bad because you're crying now.
Right.
When it's like, you publicly humiliated me, not behind like our local, not with our local friends, but in front of millions of people.
Right.
And you was my bitch. So it's like, you know, there's a different
like they
process.
raised their kids together. Really sit there and think about that, Sapphire. You raised your kid with Sukihana's kid. Y'all grew up together, the same hood. You're going to sit there and really act like, oh, I'm done. I'm tired of apologizing. Y'all grew up together.
You should be apologizing until the day it gets better, in my opinion, if that's your best friend. If that's truly, you know, a relationship you want. I think
because now she has her own little brand.
But that's the problem.
She has the money now.
That's why she don't care.
Zeus is cutting the checks. She's back, so now she don't care because she has her own platform.
Right.
Before she was just riding the coattails of Suki.
Right.
Now she doesn't need to do that.
Exactly. Which is, again, telling of
your character. That's it. So we're done with talking about Sapphire and Sukihana and that dumbass, useless scene that we didn't need. Let's get back to the yacht.
Okay.
So we got Scotty coming back.
Scotty.
Of course. Scotty's always fucking coming. I'm tired of seeing her, but whatever.
Oh, is she always coming back talking about how she gonna show a different side of her?
Every
people
time.
think she's a lapdog.
Right. Talking about, I'm trying to change the narrative, but you keep really falling into the same narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about you want to change the narrative of lapdog, but that's literally what you are every season.
What are we on season 4 now with Scotty?
Yeah, we are on season 4 and you're still the same lapdog. Like, I feel like every season you still look like the same lapdog. Even if you try to do your big one, you literally fall back into the cycle.
100%.
Of, you know, abused and abuser. So, I mean, cut the shit. I'm done. Who else we got? Biggie.
Big Biggie.
Big Biggie coming back. I feel like these girls want to hate her so bad.
I mean, I do have some criticism for Biggie, but we'll save that. We'll save that.
Okay,
we'll get through the first episode.
Who else is coming
Mariah
back?
Lynn.
Mariah Lynn. First of all, why are you here? Why are you here? Like,
listen, Mariah, I ain't got no beef with her, but she's kind of like
boring.
I was gonna say bland.
Yeah, bland like a piece of bland chicken. That's really what she is.
Little chicken tender.
Mariah's coming back, which I just feel like there's no reason for her to come back. And I don't know. I guess. Do what you gotta do. Get your bag, I guess. But I feel like there's no purpose. Who else is coming back? There's so many bitches this season.
I think that's it for that part. And then, you know, if you want to.
No, Tasiki. Tasiki's back.
Tasiki. Yeah, that's right. How do I forget Tasiki?
Right, because she just be quiet in the corner sometimes. It's like sometimes it's easy to forget her, but she's coming back.
That's right.
We already seen some like clips, some slow-mo clips from the trailer about how she probably gets into at least 2 or 3 fights this season. So we'll see. We'll see why.
So then, like, you know, they're chit-chatting on the yacht, talking about how they're going to meet new girls or whatever. And Jela
takes it upon herself
to confront Biggie.
Right.
Which, on this one, I will say, it was appropriate.
Okay.
Right? Because, like, the drama between Jela, Natalie, and Biggie online, if y'all didn't see it, was Natalie and Jela were being a little shady. Like
they were.
And
they
I
were
hate
on
that,
live being a little shady.
I hate that they try to like gaslight Biggie into saying like, oh, you know, we didn't do nothing. We was just telling the truth, which granted, you may have been telling the truth. Yes, Biggie lost the fight. Yes, maybe, but you also said other things like Biggie wasn't your favorite baddie.
Exactly.
And you were talking shit about Teddy.
Exactly.
And then
y'all
also,
were laughing. Y'all were making
like
jokes.
Mean Girl vibes.
It was like Mean Girl vibes.
Yeah.
So for them to really make it seem like, oh, nothing was really said or done to you.
Yeah, that's them.
So that's when Biggie decided to post, like, I will slap you too.
Right. And then Jela, then that's the reason why Jela came, you know, and confronted
You
Biggie.
said you was going to slap me, so stand on it.
It's
Okay,
just
so
true.
what are we doing? Which is, I respected Biggie in that moment because it's like, we're not talking anymore this season. We're not talking. You're doing the most right now. And I agreed with Biggie. She was like, you're doing a lot though. You're doing a lot. And I was like, yes, Biggie, she is doing a lot. Cause it's like, if you're gonna slap, so just, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's no need for all the rah.
Right. And she
Jayla,
stood on it.
And I'm so glad that she did.
Yeah,
Lose or not, I'm glad that she did. Because it's like, stop letting these bitches play with you. Just get up immediately. Immediately.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, you got Tasiki's little comment talking about proud of you, you know, because she kept her head up.
Yeah.
But I am a little afraid to see how this plays out with Tasiki being friends with Jayla and Biggie. Because on episode 2, which we'll get into, there was a scene where, you know, Biggie and Jayla get into another fight, and you see kind of Tasiki in the background laughing it up with the room situation. But,
right. But before we get into that, we are on episode 1. So let's stick to episode 1.
Yeah.
You know, at some point they have their little tussle, right? And that's when we get into Sapphire and Suki scene, but we can X that out. We already went there. And then the dinner.
No, when
What
we
happened?
get introduced, Rolly and Anna.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot about that.
What are they called?
The fucking injured reserve. Injured reserve. Like, what the fuck is an injured reserve, bitch?
Injured reserve.
Who the fuck came up with that name? Because I got something to say to you, because that is so weird.
That first of all, that scene entirely was hilarious.
Yeah,
Shout out
had me weak.
Shout out to Anna Mac for cracking me the fuck up.
No, for real.
One thing, she is annoying, but she's hilarious.
No, for real.
And so you get introduced, Rolly and Anna, who will be there as injured reserve. She's sitting down with Natalie. It was Anna first. She had no idea that Rolly was gonna be there,
right?
Which is typical Natalie and Zeus fashion. And you know, you see the whole back and forth with Anna and Rolly, which I'm really excited about because like I love that they don't like each other. Because at the end of the day, I mean, how many times do we have to say it? I don't like Rolly. A lot of people don't like Rolly.
Right.
And it kind of is annoying that she gets to stay here and throw the petition in our faces and all that shit, you know?
I mean, me personally, I don't care because these people are still watching Zeus. So the only way you're really going to take away someone's bag is to stop watching.
Yeah.
But, you know, people are continuously watching, especially with Baddies Caribbean coming back or out right now. They're going to watch.
Yeah. And then on this scene, we learned that Anna is injured and has like fractures on her face on 3 different parts.
Yeah.
Which you pointed out a very good, like a very interesting detail. So we were talking about it when it first premiered. And Tiana said, you know, the fact that she doesn't want to talk about how she got it.
Right.
Kind of makes it seem like she knew the person, because if it was a regular bitch, she'd probably be talking shit and, you know, be very open about it. But the fact that she didn't want to talk about it and then just kind of sound like she's like, she want to cry when she thinks about it.
Clearly it was someone you were in a relationship with. I mean, that's what it's giving. I mean, let's be real. That's what it was.
It is a possibility.
It's a possibility, but that's, you know, when you deduct and you try to like, you know, use context clues, it kind of sounds like that's what it is.
Interesting. And this is all speculation and stuff like that. And this is all, honestly, it's not even my speculation. It's just what I've seen in the comments with people speculating that people are saying that it might have been Lemmy, which who's to say that? Because he's like, you know, does she know that he messes with him? Could be 100% wrong, because at the end of the day, but they just say because, you know, he's Diddy Zeus, you know.
Oh my God.
Diddy Zeus. But you never know. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
Oh,
I'm not saying that. I'm
really
just saying.
hope it's. Don't let Stunner start talking. Don't let Stunner start talking.
Yeah. That's not. I don't believe that personally. I'm just saying. Those
I
were
really hope that
speculations
that's not true
in the comments.
But then again, considering a lot of the stuff that already came out about Lemmy, considering the stuff that came out about her, I don't know.
No, that's.
I feel like with Anna, I don't know.
Yeah.
Scotty, now that's a different story. But Anna, I don't know.
Right.
But it's clearly someone she knew, and she was like intimately involved with, because like I said earlier, if it was just another bitch, you would have been talking shit.
True. Yep.
You know, would have been talking shit, laughing about it, like, yeah, I beat that bitch up.
Yep,
but she did this, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Like when that random video came out
I
with
was
her
just gonna
fighting
say
that random girl in a 7-Eleven or some shit.
Yeah.
She was talking shit.
Yeah.
But this is clearly a whole different story.
And now that shit was funny when she started throwing granola bars at fucking Rolly.
First of all, Natalie in the back talking about, I brought gifts. And while they're arguing. I'm like, you know what?
That's one thing though. I mean, you know, Natalie is Natalie, but she is a producer. She be producing. That is funny content, bro.
Literally. She really
These two
don't
bitches
care.
is fighting. You throwing gifts of granola bars and
Did
shit.
not care. Did not care. Moving on, you know, Natalie does say that she has a surprise for the girls and she's going to take them to dinner and all this stuff. And I'm just like, it's always a surprise. It's always a surprise. So all of the girls have dinner where they're supposed to be meeting the other baddies that are coming to the show.
Oh, yeah. This is where we meet Aubrey.
Yes, this is exactly where we meet Aubrey. You know, Aubrey, I guess, is on the show. Aubrey was a member of Danity Kane, which was a girl music group formed by Diddy.
Back in the day.
I don't really know why her purpose is why she's there, but I'm assuming because of the whole Diddy situation, that's why she's there. I know we talked about that, but either way, I don't really know what her purpose is. I'm not mad that she's there. She does add some funny elements to the show.
She does. She's kind of funny. She you know, she's funny. She's quirky.
She is.
She's like the older lady that kind of wasn't expecting. You know, she's kind of like what's her name was Vicky was last season. I feel like she plays that character of
except Vicky
really
didn't even play her part.
Right, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like she's kind of like never been in the baddie round, kind of like that quirky older lady who just, you know, is kind of like shocked. You know, I like her.
I like her too, but I just thought it was so funny in her introduction. She's just like, "Well, I've been on TV before, so I know." Then gets extremely shocked when Jela and Biggie go at it. Like she was just like,
it cracked me up though. It cracked me
like
up.
She was like flabbergasted, bitch. Like she
sure.
couldn't believe what was happening in front of her. Like body went back. Even though she had me cracking up, I feel like she definitely does bring a lot of elements to it because she wants to be nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a good balance because all these baddies is fucking crazy. And then she's over there feeling sorry for Biggie.
That shit was funny.
Yo, that shit was so funny.
They looked at her crazy.
They really did. When she was like,
just being
you don't feel bad that she's crying? They were like, for what? For who?
And then it got quiet for a second, like.
And she's like, okay, never mind. That shit had me weak, bro. I was like, poor Aubrey. But I wonder if she's going to stay the whole season.
I don't think so.
Or if it's just going to be like a few episodes type shit. So. But imagine she does stay the whole season.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I have no hopes in that because at the end of the day, there's just so many girls. I feel like they're just going to cycle out, you know?
I agree. They talk about having so many different replacements, so I don't even know what's gonna go on. I don't really know.
And in that same dinner, Jela confronts Biggie again, and here's where I start to have an issue with Jela because it's like
you guys already fought.
You squared it off the first time, but Jela's saying, "Oh, it's gonna be up every single time," and it's like kind of annoying because I kind of already had a feeling that Jela was gonna come. She already said it before the show started that she was gonna come in, you know, and really make a name for herself, whatever. It's kind of annoying because at this point and onward, it just feels like she starts to kind of like do too much. Like you're trying to prove a point. You're trying to clearly have, you know, camera time and you know, you're Jela, so you gotta live up to this like name, blah 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 blah. But it's kind of annoying because it was unnecessary to do that at the dinner. And then bitches want to talk about, oh, you know, we can't even have a dinner, but your own OG baddie, Jela, fucking Natalie's right-hand man,
Yep,
is the reason it started.
yeah. I feel like Jayla getting up, okay, boom. She ruined the dinner. Her and Biggie had their fair one. Biggie snatched her chain, and I was proud of Biggie because, girl, do your shit, whether you could fight or not. I'm glad you got up immediately. I'm glad you kept your head up. I'm glad you snatched her chain, and I'm glad you left there looking untouched. The only thing she took was your wig. Meanwhile, Jayla was looking beat up, scarred up, and scratched up. So I'm really proud of Biggie because at the end of the day, these bitches always try to punk her.
Yeah.
Always. Just because they know she can't fight. They know that, you know, she may not be the strongest. So they try to punk her every single time.
And she's easy to kind of like, she's like an easy target.
But
like,
my thing is, y'all always keep trying to punk her, but y'all keep making her look better.
100%.
Every single time, y'all making her look better. So I'm glad Biggie did what she did. And what I didn't like was that everybody was like, Biggie, let it go. Biggie, let it go.
Meanwhile,
bitch, no, like
it was
Jayla.
Jayla.
Jayla literally started it every single time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you guys want to act like, oh, we wasn't saying nothing. No, y'all was talking mad shit online. If Biggie was Krishan, you would understand though, right?
Right.
But because Biggie's not Krishan, it's so easy to be, because you see her as weaker or less than, it's so easy to be like, Biggie, just let it go. Let it go. No, because if Biggie was Krishan, you wouldn't be telling her to let it go. Y'all would be sucking Krishan's dick and y'all would be like, you see, you should never said that about Krishan. You should never said that about Krishan.
Period.
Like, she has every reason to be upset.
It's a pattern of behavior that you see throughout every fight that Jayla picks with Biggie, is that, you know, they're always saying Biggie, they're always addressing Biggie, and it's
never
like
addressing Jayla.
they never address Jayla.
Who started it?
Right. And it's kind of annoying.
It's very annoying. Like, what the fuck? If y'all understand why Krishan got mad over a retweet, a repost by Will Vicky, why can't you understand why Biggie feels some type of way about Natalie and Jayla, which was even worse? They was really talking shit.
And the way they narrate it, again, they're narrating it as if it was nothing. It'd be one thing for it to have been really, truly nothing. But you were being shady, and y'all meant that.
Hella shady.
Yeah.
Hella shady. Laughing, being mean girls, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing that they did to Krishan and Baddies South on the first episode when they were talking about how she's dirty, and then got shocked when she beat Persuasion up in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was talking no more.
Right.
Nobody was talking no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and let's be fair, and I'm going to skip ahead, but let's just address it now that we're here. You know, with the third fight that Jayla picked with Biggie, you know, Tasiki had a conversation with Biggie, got the chain back, which you see, that's Biggie. She's willing to
be mature,
put her pride and ego aside, and still continue, because what she is first is a business woman,
right?
Respectfully,
right?
You know what I mean? So she did that, and on top of that, Jayla's like, I don't give a fuck about no chain. Da 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 da. Again,
so that's the thing. Like, Tasiki, you inserting yourself. Why? You inserting yourself on Biggie. Why are you not inserting yourself on Jayla? Like, that's the thing. That's my question.
Yeah, and she says she's friends with both, so it's not like you can say,
why are you only talking to Biggie?
Right, exactly. And then when they fight again, you know, when obviously this is in episode 2, when they talk about when they're fighting about the room situation, again, Jayla didn't need to do that.
Did not need, like, that was so unprovoked.
She's still doing too much. Tasiki talks online about how she was laughing because there is a clip that the fans clipped of Tasiki and Jayla laughing in the background while Biggie's crying. And Tasiki says, oh, y'all dragging it because production had made them choose their rooms prior to that scene. And then she thought it was funny because Biggie was getting upset over a room situation that had already been established. Like, she had a room, which is why she was laughing. Either way, you inserted yourself into the beef between them, and then you just look shady, kind of like laughing and doing all these things. I don't know, but I'm interested to see how Tasiki and this whole relationship plays out. But anyways, they were all addressing Biggie again in that situation, when at the end of the day, the reason why that was even an argument was because of Jayla.
But nobody said anything about Jayla.
And I don't know. I feel like at that point, since we're here, we'll track back in a minute, but in that episode, it almost felt like Jela has to prove something to the OG baddies and then to the Claremont twins because they obviously been together before.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying.
You know,
like,
I mean, let's be real though. You see your old friends, you gonna want to show up too, especially on these shows where it's like, oh, I'm the bad girl. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Jela doing too much. I like Jela, but I feel like she gonna piss me off.
I feel like
this
she's
season.
always done too much. I feel like people forget that. Even in Bad Girls Club, she always did the fucking most. So like this is not new to her character, which is why I was never really the biggest fan of Jayla. Like, you know, she's always done so much when she don't need to. She's always walked with this attitude that, oh, I'm the baddest bitch, I'm the biggest bitch, and I don't care. Yeah. Very alpha. And there's a lot of ego, a lot of fucking ego, which is why you see her continue doing what she's doing. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this every day. I don't give a fuck. Because like she just doesn't care. Yeah. And she's always been like that since Bad Girls Club, and she's still like that. So I don't see anything new. She's always done too much, in my opinion, and she still continues to do too much.
So going back to the dinner, that's when we get introduced to Callie. Who else comes out? All the new girls basically come, like a couple of new girls,
right?
But this is where Callie comes in. Blueface's sister comes in and does the absolute most.
Yeah, she does the absolute most, talking about how she wants Natalie's spot, which I'm just like, oh my god, you couldn't ease into that. Why are you going straight for Natalie? It's like you starting at level 1 and going straight for the boss. Like, you're gonna lose.
I mean, to play the devil's advocate here, Scotty did the same thing to Anna.
I'm talking about going to Natalie, though. I'm not talking about going to an OG baddie or OG
Scotty's
BGC.
an OG baddie.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fucking the executive producer of the show, darling. Like, not a fucking other cast member. I mean, an executive producer of the show. That's like starting off in a video game, level 1, no resources, no nothing, no nothing to your name, no level up, and you trying to go fight the boss. You're done. What do you think? What kind of world of delusion do you live in?
Don't you think, though, that Baddies needs that, though? Because there's so many girls
but
that
they need someone that actually could do it. I don't think Callie's capable of doing that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of funny because, like, every season we get, you know, since Krishan left, I feel like there hasn't been the other person to step up to Natalie like that. Yeah, there was ET at the reunion, which was awesome.
Was great.
Right. It was awesome. You know? So it was like, I feel like, you know, Callie did too much.
I think she did a lot.
I think she
unnecessarily.
Came in, like, it felt like she's almost you can clearly tell that she wants the spotlight, wants a storyline. Yeah. That's really what it is. Yeah. But I'm like, I low-key find it kind of funny because it's like, you're kind of filling the Krishan and ET roles that we needed, because if not, everyone will be just Natalie's little minion. And it's kind of nice to have somebody attack the boss, whether they're like, you know,
I agree. I get it. No, but if you're capable of attacking the boss, then do that. But you're not. You're not.
How do do you know that, though? That's
because, like, even the way she comes in, like, you don't even exude any energy that I feel like Natalie would be threatened by.
That part,
you know, so it's just it's uncomfortable to watch. I feel like
cringe.
You're embarrassing yourself.
It's a little cringe.
You're embarrassing me. Like, I feel I get secondhand embarrassment watching you try to fucking take down the executive producer who's been in TV for 15 years, and you're just Blueface's sister.
Can we talk about how when this went down, all of Natalie's fucking minions got up?
That pissed
Didn't
me
Mariah Liz snuff?
She did. Talking about, oh, she bumped me. She did. I did not see her bump you. You just wanted to fight. Yeah. You wanted to fight.
And Mariah always inserts herself in these fucking fights that don't have nothing to do with her, bro. Yeah. She did it with Tasiki. Yeah. She's doing it's annoying. It's like and then she uses the I'm little, I have to fucking card. Bitch, Mariah's gonna piss me off, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? But it's like all of them got up. It was Jela, Scotty, Mariah.
Even Tasiki got up a little bit. And it was just kind of like, girl, don't be a lapdog. Don't be a lapdog. You're talking about, oh, I'm not going to sneak you. Because I remember she was like, oh, watch, Tasiki's right there. Yeah. Tasiki was like, I'm not gonna sneak you. If we was gonna fight, you would have to square up, baby.
Yeah.
You would have to square up. But it's like you walking up to her in this way where it's like you trying to press her. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't think, like, what the fuck?
Like, Tasiki, you have nothing to prove. We know you could fight. Like,
I didn't
it's
really
done.
get those vibes from Tasiki getting up. Like, I just feel like you get up because naturally when people get up, we gonna get up. Because, you know, I don't think Tasiki really got on that whole jumping vibes.
I don't think she was, but she was just, I guess, aware of her surroundings. Maybe that's her being aware of her surroundings. But even her walking up to her, it's like, why?
Nah.
You didn't need to do that. Like, security was already like pulling her back. You walking up to her talking about, oh, I'm not gonna sneak you, baby. You have to square up. You bucking up. Like, why? There's no need
she
for
wasn't
that.
bucking up.
She was a little bit. It was light. It wasn't like in your face, but it was still a form of aggression that I feel like wasn't needed.
I think it's important to understand that, like, at the end of the day,
wasn't needed. She didn't have to say that.
Nah,
we know she could fight.
No, I know that, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was that. I feel like baddies, you got to be ready for anything. You know what I'm saying? Just like Mariah came out of nowhere to sneak her. I just feel like that's just a natural response when you're in an environment
that everybody's just sneaking.
Everyone's sneaking, that you just get up. I don't think Tasiki was on that vibes. However, I did see Jela, Scotty, and Mariah get up in there and
Sapphire too.
Sapphire too. I forget about her. Oh. She's forgettable. And mind you, I have big crush on her, but her personality, she just need to stay, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I didn't like that. I think it's corny to see these girls kind of like jump on Natalie's little minion vibe, you know.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I was like, let Natalie fight her own battles, because now y'all all look like lapdogs, and y'all be the first one to say, I'm not a lapdog, but that's what you're giving. Mm-hmm. That's literally what you're giving. That's what you're showing, and that's how you're acting. You got up immediately. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So this dinner definitely had a lot of unexpected shit. And another example would be when Mariah's best friend, what's her name? Bianca. Bonnie. Bianca, she is a rapper, and she's the one that rapped Chicken Noodle Soup. That was like a big hit back in the day when we was in middle school. Talking about chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. So she has been in reality TV before, but now she is on Baddies.
Yeah, they were on Love and Hip Hop together, and that's Mariah, according to her best friend.
Right.
And Bianca gets introduced and comes out immediately swinging on Sapphire.
Immediately.
Says hi to everybody else, then sneaks Sapphire.
Immediately.
And then she says, you know, she's here because, you know, Mariah, she didn't like the way they treated her, so now she's going to stand in it. But the thing about that is that Mariah, you know, I guess it puts Mariah in a compromising position, because clearly they had worked it out prior to the show. So Bianca kind of coming in swinging over old news is kind of like, but I get it. I
feel like Mariah knew that was going to happen, though. You telling me Mariah didn't know that was going to happen?
Mariah's fake, so I don't put it past
She's
me.
fake.
Yeah, I don't put it past her at all to have known and set that up anyways.
I don't know if she set it up, but I feel like she knew that Bianca felt some type of way about the whole situation.
Right. But it's funny because there was comments that had, and I thought it was interesting. Remember how we felt about Vicky and her best friend who went online and started barking for her? Yeah. Remember, in her defense, and started saying, I'll fight you, Krishan, da. People were saying, people said the same thing about this situation, and I kind of made the comparison here. They were saying, you know, you got the clear-skinned woman bringing in her best friend to fight her battles because the clear-skinned woman can't fight. I thought it was funny because it kind of, if you kind of like
the clear-skinned woman.
This is the comment. It's not me, all right? But I thought it was funny, and it's an interesting take because it kind of looks like that. You know, you got your best friend fighting your battles.
But Bianca can't fight either.
Even though Mariah said that she had nothing to do with it and she didn't want that. But Bianca can't fight to the point where she spit on Sapphire.
Yeah, that was crazy. That's
your best friend, girl.
That's what she was like. Because I feel like to spit on someone is really like the lowest form of disrespect.
100%.
Like the lowest of the law. So I'm just like, wow, you really just jumped to the gun and spit on her. I was like, yeah, I have zero respect for you.
Yeah.
Like spitting on someone is really like you are beneath my shoe. You are beneath the scum on the earth, bitch.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of embarrassing to be Mariah claiming that's your best friend and then your best friend acting like that. It's not cute.
But then on the other hand, you can argue that Bianca came in doing what Sapphire was supposed to do for Suki.
True.
And didn't do it.
True.
So Bianca clearly knows how to be a friend in this situation. Whether they're friends for the media or not, she knows how to play her part.
Yeah.
And that's that. But,
you
know, and that's that. You know, I just feel like Bianca really came in not talking and just doing what she needs to do. And I really respect her for that. I like that she don't talk that much.
I thought it was funny that she thinks it's hilarious.
She does.
She was laughing the whole time.
She don't care.
Yeah, she's funny. She's funny.
She's funny, but you could tell that the girls do look at her like, oh, you're making your best friend your whole personality, which is where I kind of feel like, all right, don't come in here just making your whole persona about Mariah. You have to have some identity as well. So you can't just be fighting for Mariah. You also are on the show to push yourself, to push your personality and your brand. 100%. So who are you other than Mariah's best friend? Because right now, that's what it's looking like. You're just Mariah's best friend fighting her battles.
Her battles that were already squashed.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is probably why Mariah's back. Now she's like, oh, I need protection now. Even though in the confessional, her eye looked like red, like busted.
Yeah, that's something that I think happens between Sapphire and her later on or some shit like that.
Wasn't it someone else?
I don't know. Maybe. But I know she gets beat up.
It was Asian Doll.
That's
there
right.
You go.
That's
it wasn't
right.
Sapphire.
Sorry.
I'm like, Sapphire not causing that damage.
Yeah, that's true.
It was Asian Doll.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's embarrassing. Where was Bianca for that? I want to know. Was Bianca there for that? Bianca, did you fight Asian Doll? Did you fight Asian Doll for Mariah? Like,
I guess we'll see.
We'll see. So all in all, with this whole dinner, you know, in the first episode, we didn't really get to meet those baddies. So then we go on to the second episode where we meet them a little bit. And honestly, I'm here for the new girls. I'm actually here for them. I'm here for the new unseen bitches, you know, no affiliation. I don't know about any. Diamond the Body seems to have some type of, I don't know. Clearly, she's doing a lot of dick sucking because it seems like Zeus Network favors her. Every time they post, she's like the first girl that they post when it comes to the new baddies.
Yeah. And honestly, I knew about Diamond the Body before she got on Zeus. I forgot which girl had posted her. It wasn't even official that she was on the show yet. But I started following her because I kind of had a feeling, an inkling that she was going to be on. So there's clearly some association with her. Even online before the show aired, she went on to bat for Zeus and was like, oh, you know, basically talking shit with the Smiley situation. So we already know that, you know, the Diamond the Body we get is going to be, you know, I don't know, dick sucking Diamond the Body.
Yeah, agreed. But I'm excited for Big Gretch. Meatball.
I don't understand. Okay.
Tinkerbella.
We gotta hit
Tinkerbella. Ella. I'm excited for these bitches. I don't care. I'm excited. Even Slim Too Bad. I want to see what you about.
I'm excited for every one of them
except Gretch.
Bro,
I don't know why I'm so excited.
What is your
Gretch.
Yeah, we need to handle it right here. What is that?
She gonna stir the motherfucking pot. If I was writing a story, I would write a character like, I would write a character like Gretch because that is who stirs up the whole shit. And it's naturally done because naturally you're just a crazy bitch. Like, it's not fake. It's not fake. It's organic. It's organically stirred up.
Tiana is like really hyped about this Gretchen girl, and I feel like just looking at her, she pisses me off. I don't understand.
One of them bitches, though.
And Tiana has written a character that kind of reminds me of this girl, and in that story that she wrote that character, I hated that character too. And she was like, "That's my favorite."
I
don't understand this
because like you really are gonna just shake shit up. You're gonna shake shit up.
And here we also meet Meatball.
I love Meatball.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I love her.
I have a feeling I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about her.
I love her. I just feel like she really don't care. Even in her confessional, she looked hella crazy.
She showed up in a fucking t-shirt.
Bro, shorty don't care.
In a fucking black t-shirt.
She really did not care. She really did not care.
Bro, I'm sorry.
Meatball don't care.
No. we gotta be fair here. I'm sorry. If we talk shit about E.T. coming in looking
100%,
crazy,
100%.
Meatball coming in a black t-shirt
is ridiculous.
looking like the shirts I wear for work is crazy.
Yo, she didn't care. Even her confessional, her wig was not even laid properly. You saw her skin and you saw the color of the lace. And you had the nerve to have on that bright ass blonde wig in that confessional. You couldn't even put no edges to hide the lace, nothing. She didn't care. And she had a t-shirt on in the confessional too.
Yeah.
No makeup, no nothing. I'm like, they did not care to give you any glam? Like, what's up with that? Did you have to pay for extra glam or something? Like, how does that work?
Well, you know how that works.
Yeah, but at least E.T. in her confessional.
They all bring their girls.
At least E.T. in her confessional had makeup on. At least the wig looked a little decent. Meatball? I don't know what the fuck that was. She really did not care.
Yeah.
She did not care. But there's just something about her personality that I love so much. Like, she's such a personality. E.T. was boring. Meatball has personality, okay? And you're gonna see it. You haven't seen it now.
She's talking a lot.
But you're gonna see it. And I'm gonna see too. And I'm gonna just laugh because she really don't care. She really don't care. And I love that. And I love that we're getting new organic bitches that really don't care and really are about this life.
Right.
Because we usually get these fucking dolled up bitches that claim to be about this life, but they're not. Like T. Hi, my name's T. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't even needed.
Right.
In episode 2, we do get to see more of the whole Callie situation with her and fucking Natalie.
I thought it was kind of annoying that she brought Meatball into it, where she was like, you came in with me. Whose side are you on? Blah, 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 blah. It was kind of like,
I don't
random.
even know you.
Yeah.
We literally just walked in together. I don't know you. Like, why do you all of a sudden expect me to be like, it's like you're trying to put a lapdog minion type of role onto me and we just met. You just, it's giving you want to have an alliance in the house because you just went up against the big dog and you got no alliances.
Right.
So I just feel like, all right, I'm glad Meatball cursed her out because, bitch, I don't even know you. We literally just walked in together. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And it's like, why are you bringing everyone in on your beef?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yep. So, and then they're going to go to the Caribbean. Barbados, I believe, is their first stop.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously, Natalie's going to take her favorite OG baddies to the jet, while the others are going to take their plane.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we meet the Claremont twins. Can we talk about the Claremont twins? Bruh, first of all right, you're talking to, this is great. This is where I love our dynamic because you knew about the Claremont twins prior to this. I didn't watch BGC after what's her name?
Right, Tanisha.
After Tanisha. So I didn't know about the Claremont twins. But I did look up what they used to look like. And that's crazy how they don't look anything compared to what they used to look like. But it's so crazy because now I like that I don't know them because I get to see them fresh, don't have any prior, idea of who they are. So I get to meet them. First of all, there was a hype that they were here. Right? There was a hype. People were hyped to see them back.
I wasn't hyped.
My God, they have no expression on their faces because of all the plastic surgery. That you can't tell whether they're happy, mad, sad, because they just look the same, and it's kind of funny. And they're giving me kind of like boring. They're just pretty to look at.
They're just there for the vibes. They're not there for the bullshit like how they were in Bad Girls Club.
Very clearly.
They're just there to turn up and shake ass and drink and get lit. I mean, that's what they get paid to do a lot of the time. So I feel like...
Yeah, to be pretty.
Exactly, and just show up. And that's really it. And
yeah, there's no real personality coming. And that's why I asked Tiana, I'm like, were they always like this? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, they were always pretty much like that.
I'm like, okay, I guess.
Always. They just look it now.
I saw somebody call them thing 1 and thing 2. I was weak.
Yeah, no, that's really what it gives. It looked like when they smile, it hurt.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It really looked like it will hurt to smile. Yeah.
No, for real.
It's like, oh,
right.
Stiff, face stiff. Even if you had a dimple, I can't see it no more.
Yeah.
I can't see a dimple. I can't see nothing here, no crease. I can't see nothing. No wrinkle, no nothing. is just straight plastic stiff and like, y'all.
Yeah, that's how they sound. Yeah.
But they've always sounded like that.
That's
so
why
it's
I was like, look at Tiana after hearing one of their confessionals. And I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. They've always sounded like that.
Why were people hyped to see them? They're kind of boring. They're pretty.
I mean, they had more personality for sure back then, you know, when they were on BGC for sure. But they've always had that attitude and they've always sounded like that.
Okay.
But they def had more personality back then. But now it's like, you know, they're rich.
Right.
So
they don't got to do too much.
They don't.
Well, then they get on the jet. That's how we meet there, right? And then they go to Barbados. And this is where, you know, the OG, the people who go through the jet, get there first, pick their rooms. Mm-hmm. That includes Jela, Scotty, you know, the Claremont twins. Mariah wasn't there. Sapphire was there. Mm-hmm. And then the
whole Jela and Biggie situation.
Then the whole Jela and Biggie situation happened, which I also want to say, and I got to give kudos to the criticism that we've made in the past. One thing that I didn't appreciate, and neither did Biggie appreciate about Scotty last season, was that she was hella fake about their friendship. And every time Biggie needed somebody to needed somebody, Scotty never stood up. Yeah, I did notice that Scotty went up to Biggie this time and actually was like, you know, she was vouching for her. She's like, you know, even in her confessionals was kind of like, guys, like, this is done. Like, I want this. She wants them to have peace. And then also Scotty was the only one that went up to Biggie. Yeah. To hold her when she was crying. You know, and I thought that was sweet. Yeah. Because Scotty was being a real bitch the last season, acting real fake. And I thought it was nice that, you know, she was being more of a real friend. Unlike Tasiki, who was kind of just laughing in the background. Yeah. And I'm just like, Tasiki, if you weren't gonna be involved, why did you insert yourself? What was the point? Even when they were arguing, she like low-key tried to like diffuse it, but you really didn't. So you were still talking at Biggie to chill, which you should have been talking to Jela, because Jela started it again, even after they already fought. Exactly. So, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was so funny when Aubrey was really trying to speak life into Biggie. Biggie did not care. No, Biggie did not care. She looked at her and was just like, and then she heard Natalie talk about Batty shot. Bro, you always want to call Batty shot a clock, bitch. Literally, that was her first response. She just heard Natalie in the back talking, Batty shot a clock. Bro, yo. Let's talk about this part. She don't care. She don't. Natalie really don't give a fuck. And she don't respect Biggie. No. She don't care about Biggie's feelings. No. But I love Biggie. I want to preface this by saying I love Biggie. But just like we can criticize our enemies, we can criticize our friends as well. And I feel like I really didn't understand why Biggie was crying and getting upset that Natalie, wasn't taking her side and that Jela snuck her, because at the end of the day, Biggie snuck Smiley in the trailer. Biggie snuck Stunna on the first season that she was on. So it's kind of like, why are you playing victim right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand the tears. Yes, maybe she was just feeling emotional because clearly she wants Natalie to accept her the way she accepts Jela and respect her in that way. And Natalie just doesn't, period. Doesn't care, doesn't like her. She said it. She's her least favorite baddie. But I feel like also we got to call it for what it is. I mean, Biggie, you did the same thing. She did the exact same thing. Stunna got snuck. Smiley got snuck in vulnerable places. Maybe Stunna wasn't in a vulnerable place, but Smiley sure as hell was. Smiley was trying to talk shit and, trying to be nice to her. And then fucking Biggie came out of nowhere and smacked her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I thought it was like random. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you make a valid point. That's very true. I don't know where her tears came from either, because it's like, why are you feeding for Natalie to accept you? But then for me, it's like, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors where Natalie might be, manipulating Biggie and saying certain things to Biggie, talking about, our real relationship. I just got to do this for cameras. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, where Biggie's probably eating that up, forgetting that, hey, at the end of the day, this is TV. This is her job, and she's going to do whatever that makes her money. So you have to remember that and keep that in mind, and stop fiending for validation from Natalie, because you're just not going to get it.
Yeah,
you're not going to get it.
I feel like that's probably where it stems from. Like, I just feel like Biggie's been begging to be accepted, even the last season, about the jet. It's not like this season. She came back. Yeah, she got a chain, but it's not like she was on the jet. So I feel like even though she was, and that's why I feel like she also continues to remind us how she's MVB, most valuable baddie, because it's like that's all she has. But yet Natalie won't accept her as one. Jela comes in and out, never had a title as a fan favorite, and still,
but she's on the jet.
Sapphire did nothing but just betray her best friend. We don't even know her. We know Biggie more than Sapphire, and yet she's on the jet and Biggie's not. It's kind of like, it's fucked up when you think about it, but it's also like Biggie, I feel like that's where the tears come from. But Biggie, you don't need Natalie.
You don't.
You really truly don't. Like, you're literally your own baddie at your own, at your own reputation, at your own shine. Like, I don't know. And I think that's, I guess, where the tears came from. But then the victim mentality that got in that as well. I don't know.
Yeah, in that moment, I felt like you should have just stood up like you did at the dinner. Like, you should have fought back like you did at the dinner. But I guess she was over it.
She was emotional.
She was emotional, and she was over it, and she wanted to just move forward.
Right.
And Jayla wasn't trying to do that. She
Yeah.
kept doing it, and it was just like, Biggie's like, it's already done.
Right.
Like, we already did what we did. Like, let's move forward. And I don't like that, because I feel like if it was Biggie doing what Jayla was doing, Biggie, drop it, move forward.
Biggie,
it's done.
You messing up our bag.
Exactly.
All this bullshit. You don't know how to act.
Yeah, when she
professional.
snuck ET. Oh, yeah, you messed up our bag.
Right.
But I'm like, Jayla messed up the dinner. Jayla messed up all these fucking encounters. It was unprovoked.
On
but
a
it's
yacht.
like nobody, right, on the yacht. And nobody said anything.
Right.
Nobody said anything to Jayla. So it's just giving who your favorite is. And I just want to know what happened for Jayla to go on that rant on Twitter talking about Zeus and talking about Lemmy, because it's like, I thought you were the favorite. I thought you were the favorite. They were catering to you. So now what happened? What happened? I want to know what the fuck happened. That's pretty much where the episode kind of like leaves off. And at some point, we do get a snippet of the next episode. And that's when the rest of the girls come in.
Yeah, mind you guys, we are on episode 3 and it's still like day 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how many fucking episodes they gonna fucking break it down to this season.
Yeah, because it's a lot happening, and we've seen so many fights in like 2 episodes.
Right.
So now I already know we got that snippet of episode 3. The rest of the girls come in, and Meatball and Gretch clearly have beef. Meatball said that Gretch was talking shit online, and then she just sneaks her. Meatball hits her. So Meatball and Gretch fight. And then the N-word. We're going to save that for the next episode. Okay?
Yeah,
but
because
that
Diamond the Body also comes and shows her, like, she went online on her YouTube and showed her version, that she has a full version, uncut, extra behind the scenes footage of that fight. And Gretch and the N-word. So I'm very excited to talk about that.
All right. So that is going to be the next episode. So, I mean, overall, I feel like I'm loving the season so far. It feels like organic drama. Yeah, it doesn't
feel like the way last season felt.
It doesn't feel forced, where it's like meeting, and then it's fight. You know, like it actually feels like, okay, bitches just got beef. Right. And it's just happening in front of our eyes because we have so many different personalities in the room.
For sure. And I'm loving the season. I love baddies. It like, whether we see Rolly on this bitch or not, I still love baddies.
It's so refreshing without her though.
It is. But shit has gotten deep and viral when my sister fucking tells me that her nail tech fucking wanted to watch Baddies, put it on. My sister doesn't fuck with none of this shit. So when my sister calls me and tells me, yo, I'm hooked on Baddies, that's how you know Baddies is up, bro.
No, for real. Like,
so I'm very curious to know, what do you guys think of this season so far? What are your predictions? I remember I told y'all heard it here. I said I have a feeling that, you know, Biggie's gonna come in with like a, you know, a high ego with her head up because she was MVP, which you're seeing already a little bit of it. You know, what do you think about the new girls? What do you think so far about the old girls coming back? I'm very curious to know what y'all think about also what we had to say.
Yeah. Do you guys agree with us? Do you guys disagree with us? Do you guys have different points to point out that we maybe didn't point out?
Did we miss something?
Right. Did we miss something? So yeah, comment those all below. So that's pretty much overall how I feel about the whole thing. So where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram. That's JESSI.strange. And Tiana, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Randomania1. You guys can find us on Instagram at the Petty Headquarters. We release episodes every Tuesday at 4 p.m. We're on Spotify. We're on all the podcast platforms.
All of them.
All of them. Okay, so just type in the Petty Headquarters. We're on there. Follow us, leave a review, rate on YouTube, the Petty Headquarters. Subscribe, all of that. Okay? So with that being said, this was your weekly dose of meth.
Bye.